list. But something I always put at the beginning of the list of things to do in life is to stay healthy. And how do I do that? By sometimes getting up from my computer, even though I have a standing desk. So, you know, just imagine me standing up before this part, walking over to my kitchen, to the refrigerator, to the nearest desk with a cup full of clear hydrogen, oxygen, liquid and all that. I grip the container, I open it up, or I just straight flip it to my mouth and I start. That's busting. Busting in my jaw. Anyway, let's talk about how Nintendo is battling rising development costs with creativity, according to Shigeru Miyamoto. Because one thing I always like, I don't want to just say I always, but one thing I am noticing more and more in terms of the general gaming culture currently is that there are a lot more people saying that a lot of these games are spending quadrillion dollars on, like, they're basically spending their money in the wrong place. Excuse me, because instead of dropping 5 medium-sized games in a year and getting one banger that recoups for the other 4, instead of using that strategy, they're just putting the money of 5 games into one game and hoping that it's a fucking hit. And when it's not a hit and it's a and when it's a ass miss of a game, they kind of get mad and they go into financial ruin. So I want to see what, from his perspective as somebody who's like a big wig on the gaming production side and someone who's been in the industry for a long time, aka being that he could be somebody who's noticed the trend of price going up from damn near the beginning of the gaming industry to the beginning of the gaming industry to where it was seen as a very, very niche thing that was just another kind of toy that you make for kids. That's like whatever the fuck some weird ass grown ass enthusiasts do that shit in the corner and whatever the fuck, versus now to where it's like everybody wants to be a gamer, everybody wants to play games, even if they don't like video games and gaming. Everybody wants to be a gamer because it's the cool and social thing to do now. Like this is one of the things I always say because I always do. Remember, most of the people who play games nowadays don't play games because they love games. They play games because their friends play games and they want something to do with their friends. And if they have the option between sitting around and looking at the wall to the left of them and then the wall to the right of them, and then look forward and realize that they looked to the right when they said left and left when they said right, and playing a video game, the fuck you think they're gonna choose? Playing a video game. So that's what a lot of them do. They're not really passionate about video games, and that's okay. I'm not saying you gotta be passionate about video games. You gotta be a diehard gamer that plays Elden Ring and Call of Duty and fucking tabletop turn-based RPGs. That's the only way you can be a real gamer. Like, no, I'm not one of those niggas. I'm just saying you have to realize what the landscape is so you can understand why it is what it is. Okay? I'm gonna crank that what you call it. Okay, I need to take the headphones off because I'm gonna be jamming to all these instrumentals that I ain't hear in a minute, because I usually do this shit with my headphones off so I don't jam to the instrumentals. But yeah, as I was saying, yeah, a lot of people play games as a social thing, and now that the industry is bringing in more money, people who are bigwigs and investors expect to make more money, even if that's not always the reality. So let's see what he's saying about this situation. And the first quote we got is, "The more you polish something that has never existed before, the more value it brings." That is very correct. That is very correct. The better this product that nobody's ever seen is when it comes out, the better. But as I always say, it's good to be creative, but you don't always have to reinvent the freaking wheel. Sometimes you could just make a wheel that operates better than everybody else's wheel, but we're never going to shy away from creativity. We're always going to uplift creativity, but creativity is not the only way, bruh. Discussing the rising cost of game development in a recent investor Q&A, Miyamoto admitted the company's development expenses have increased each year since our scale of development has grown. A corresponding increase in cost in some respects is inevitable, he said. However, creative and intriguing ideas are most important, a view shared by other members of the Nintendo board, which is true because at the end of the day, when it comes to anything based on entertainment, the number one thing you have to factor is, are people going to like this content? Because, for example, the reason why all those drama channels, those commentary channels that in the early 2010s that used to talk over the same fucking CSGO gameplay of a random dude in CSGO doing this over that fucking pyramid triangle shit with a knife in their hand, and they keep swiping at the air for some fucking reason while they talk about the latest dumbass bullshit YouTube drama. There's a reason why all of those people that used to do that disappeared. Even the biggest one that you're thinking of in your head, that there's probably like 3 definitive answers I can name off the top of my head that I don't have to mention, that you can look at and be like, damn, insert name, isn't here anymore. They're fucking irrelevant. Only old people know who they are, essentially. In terms of the internet, over 20 is fucking ancient. So these people are ancient things that only old people know about. The younger generations don't know who the fuck these people are because they're irrelevant. They were never creative. All they did was sit up there all day and say, all right, what did so-and-so do on social media today? Who has the latest beef today? Nobody wants to see that shit in the long term. That content is not what I like to call growing content. What is growing content? Growing content is content that, even if it's not evergreen, can be watched 5, 10, 20 years from now and still be appreciated and still have value. A lot of them make videos that in 2 weeks nobody's gonna give a fuck about. Imagine 5 years down the line. Even with these videos, even though I design these videos to be easy to make in terms of just being able to pump out 100 billion quintillion videos to please the algorithm gods and goddesses, it's still something that in 5 years people can look back on and still get some type of value out of it. Because yeah, I talk about gaming and stuff like that, but I also talk about real shit in here. And also another thing that this does is it encapsulates history of what was going on in the game industry at this time. So if in 2029 or 2030 somebody wants to see how the gaming industry was in December of 2024, here I am, nigga. And especially if they want to see how somebody who looks like them and they don't look like one of the more popular Caucasian YouTubers, which that's no shade to them or nothing like that. I'm not saying it's bad that you're Caucasian and popular. I'm just saying, even me, sometimes I find myself doing it. When I'm watching content, I just want to see somebody that looks like me. Now, 100% of the time, I don't gotta see somebody that looks like me. But if I am watching a video where I can choose to watch, like I have limited time and I can choose to watch a video from somebody I already know who looks like me and somebody who's new, I'm gonna choose what's familiar. You get what I'm saying? So like that being, all that being said, creativity in the end is the thing that will take you above and beyond and make you one of the greats in history. But sometimes you need to step into a light to where people can even see where you do something great. And sometimes that takes just making a better wheel than everybody else's. You don't have to invent sliced bread yet. You can make a smooth wheel, and then you could go into the bread industry and go, yo, what if we put yeast in this food so it rises? Yeah, now we got this thing called a loaf. But what if we take it to the next level? What if somebody wants to eat part of a loaf and then store the rest of it for later because this loaf is big as shit? Well, why don't we just cut up the loaf and put it in a bag? So it's like sometimes you gotta put yourself in a light to be seen for your greatness. That's why I do this shit in addition to the video essays. The video essays are the things that I want to do. This is the stuff that I gotta do, and not in a bad way as I gotta do it, but I gotta do as in this is how I get to the point to where them damn video essays are going to get seen more. We continue refining our products until we are confident that we have created something that our consumers will be satisfied with, said Miyamoto. With that in mind, what is important is to find ideas that are worth honing, and this has not changed since the era of the NES. Close this bullshit on the side and let's go back to talking about how everyone has different interests. So we cannot make sweeping statements about what ideas are worth pursuing. That's true. Because for example, not a lot of people who are interested in games before liked an idea like an Elden Ring. Because in 2021, if you told somebody about Elden Ring and showed them a previous Dark Souls game and got them to bump their head against the wall, they'd be like, man, I don't want to play this shit, man, fuck this shit, I hate this damn game. They will feel like how I do about those pieces of shit games. But now, everybody loves Soulsborne games. You could walk up to the average person, talk to them about video games, and a game that they are very likely to bring up is Elden Ring. 6-7 years ago, however many years it was, 1 year before Elden Ring came out, you couldn't talk to the average person about a Soulsborne game. You couldn't talk to them about Bloodborne, Dark Souls 3, 1, 2, Demon Souls, Mortal Shell, Sekiro. Couldn't talk to the average person about that game. You could only talk to people who are more hardcore gamers. So this is true. People have different interests, and over time those interests change. So you can't say, and even with Elden Ring, there are still niggas like me that just aren't interested in Elden Ring. There are people who are cozy gamers. People who just like to sit down and just relax and zen out and play something like a Minecraft or play the 3000th fucking farming sim, or maybe they want to play another shitty early access PC gamer ass game. So everyone has interests, and in addition to everybody having different interests, sometimes you just become not interested in something anymore, or sometimes you're interested in something and because there's nothing new or nothing new for you as far as you feel to discover about that something, you just stop giving a fuck about trying to find out new things about that something. As a result, no. However, one thing we are sure about is that it should be something which has not existed in the past, which the other developer, the Larian developer, where he was giving his Game Awards speech, that's one of the parts of the speech that I love the most, where he said that the reason why developers create, like video game developers, the reason why they create these games is because nobody else created this game before and we wanted to make it. We made a game we wanted to play. So game developers understand that when they make games that people be wanting to play them, it's just that big wigs sometimes, like I say, dick on the shoulder looking over at their computer screen like, hey, you see that detail right there? Yeah, go ahead and change that, gang. Yeah, I never developed a game a day in my life, but listen to me because I have money and a dick that can fit on your shoulder. Oh wait, you said I only have one of those things, money and not a dick that can fit on your shoulder? Well, fuck it, I got the money. That's what makes the games run. The more you polish something that has never existed before, the more value it brings. I love this statement. As a result, Nintendo aims to nurture developers who, quote, take this unique concept to heart, allocate funds as necessary, and release games only after we are confident in the product. Meaning, dear bigwigs, listen up. If the developers are telling you nobody wants to play this shit, don't force them to make it. Okay? Also, a lot of developers need to humble themselves. Y'all all can't drop your games through in the fall. Y'all, everybody can't drop their games in December, November. Some of you niggas gotta drop in January because the games dropping in December, November, October are gonna blow you the fuck out the water. If you know your IP is not on par with the popularity of basketball within the gaming community, Move the fuck out of the way. And when is it? September? When does 2K come out? When does 2K come out? September, yeah. So if you know your game isn't on par with 2K, the fuck out of the way. Don't drop in September. If you're dropping a game that's a shooter, that's not on par in popularity with Call of Duty, get the fuck out the way. If you're not dropping a free-to-play game that's on par with Fortnite, don't drop your major update in December. Ain't nobody playing that shit. Ain't nobody playing that shit. And I feel like a lot more developers need to humble themselves in terms of products that they put out. Because just because your product is unique and fun, that doesn't mean niggas want to play it right now. Because there's been plenty of times where me and plenty of other gamers have seen a game that looks freaking fantastic, but we end up scratching our heads and going, yeah, that looks fantastic, but I'm already playing such and such. Do I want to stop playing a game that I guaranteed know I will have fun on to play a game I'm not sure I'll have fun on because I've never played anything like it before? Now, as a gamer, we'll take that chance. But the average person, again, they play games for a social experience. So their answer is going to go, well, most of my friends play Fortnite, and I already spend thousands of dollars on my Fortnite account, so nail biting. I'm gonna go back to playing Fortnite instead of trying something new. It is what it is. That's what the landscape is like right now, and I feel like a lot more of these big wigs need to recognize it. We believe that not all products require large costs. Yes, that is a fact. Not all you niggas need $1 trillion on your fucking budget. Some of you niggas is doing extra shit. Y'all need to scale back. I'm not saying stop paying your employees, but stop paying for dumb shit. Even in the case of video games with the current technology, it is possible to create fun, because I feel like too many games are focusing on, oh, we have to make our games have 89K textures, and we have to make sure this game runs in 7K, 1 billion FPS. It's like, bro, the average gamer can't tell the difference between 50 FPS and 60 FPS. Just make sure your game runs at 60 on console, 120 or high, 120 guaranteed. This is the bare minimum. Bare minimum for console, 60 flips. Bare minimum for PC, 120 flips. Anything after that is a luxury. 120 is a necessity for PC. 60 is the bare minimum necessity for console. Anything after that, you're just being extra for the fun of it. And it's okay to do that every once in a while. But do you need to allocate extra money that could be going towards paying a developer or spending money on buying or hiring staff that can create a new engine because you want to do something in this game that's so unique you can't just use Unreal or whatever the fuck. You have to create your own proprietary engine for this game. So does it make more sense to spend money on that or to spend money optimizing the game or making it so that the game runs with an uncapped frame rate when the game runs fine at 120? And after 120, you're just like, because I've played games with unlocked FPS, like unlocked frame rates, and I'm not gonna lie, after 120, shit just doesn't matter that much. Because like the jump from 30 to 60 to 120, that's an immense jump. Playing a game in sub 30, then going right behind that and playing a game in 120 plus, it's a big fucking jump. But jumping from 120 frames to 200 frames, after a while, it's like, bro, I'm not even getting utility out of all these extra fucking frames. I'm just running down the life of my graphics card so that the game looks prettier. Like what the fuck do I achieve by playing a game in 200 frames? Like, it's fun, it's cool to say, look at my PC, look at what I can do, hee. Like, yeah, I've done that. It's like how rappers and stuff like that explain whenever somebody goes from rags to riches, basically. Like your first $1 million or your first check or whatever the fuck, you're gonna ball out, you're gonna spin. But you dedicate a good portion of that check. First off, you take taxes out. Then you pay your staff. Then after you take taxes out, pay your staff, Then you buy you a house, car, whatever. Like the necessities, house, car, basic shit. Then after that, you take half of that, save it. The other half of that, blow it on all the dumb shit you never got a chance to buy previously because you were broke before and now you got $1 million. You're gonna want to spend some of that $1 million on some dumb shit. So at some point, you gotta, once you get down to that luxury stack of cash, that disposable income, spend that on dumb shit after you pay for all the stuff you need to pay for. It's the same thing in this scenario. Same concept. But with the current technology, it is possible to create fun games with a small number of developers in a short period of time. It is true, but trying to do that on purpose versus it naturally happening, trying to catch lightning in a bottle. It's not likely to happen if you do it on purpose, but if it happens by accident, kinda cool. We believe it is important not to lose sight of this perspective. Factual statement. Senior Managing Executive Officer and Corporate Director Shinya Takashi commented, I believe, unique titles are small in scale, but worth polishing. Why did you put a comma before a conjunction, you fucking idiot? I believe unique titles that are small in scale but worth polishing can be created by expanding on ideas of a small number of developers. You don't need a comma right there. Rather than spending large sums of money on every game, while overall research and development (R&D) costs are rising, there are certain products for which expenses remain relatively stable depending on our approach. That's a fact. What they're saying is, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. If you don't need to buy the newer version of this software, whatever the fuck, if having the older version of this software isn't holding you back or negatively impacting your ability to properly develop a fun experience, then yes, it's cool to have the new one. But bruh, even though we're working for a corporation that makes fuck tons of money, we gotta make this money back after we spend it. Like, yeah, it seems like we make infinite money, but we just make a money so much higher than average, it seems infinite. It's not actually infinite, and like I said, when we spend it, we're spending it with the sole express purpose of making it back. So, yeah. Anyway, Big Co, Senior Executive Officer and Corporate Director, added the merging of home console and handheld console for the Switch allowed Nintendo to integrate its development environments, which will continue with the Nintendo Switch successor, quote, because we are already familiar with Nintendo Switch, maintaining a similar basis for development environments in the future will allow us to carry over the experience we have already built, which should lead to a reduction in R&D costs over time, he said. So, just to translate in case you don't understand what he's saying, what he basically said is, the Switch is a great idea. The Switch made bands and buckets and buckets and buckets of money. We don't have any new crazy revolutionary idea, so we're not going to force ourselves to come up with a new revolutionary idea, because usually when you force yourself to come up with something great, you don't come up with stuff that's great. But when you let yourself come up with different things, and then you just look through your things and vet them and say, this idea could work, this idea could work, and then you go, oh, this idea is gonna work. You have to find a diamond in the rough. How do you find a diamond in the rough? You have to go through the rough. You have to dig through the dirt. Like that classic meme of the dude mining, and the diamonds are right there, and he turns around with a pickaxe on his shoulder and starts walking away right before he's about to dig to the diamonds. Yeah, you gotta go through the rough before you get to the good. That's not just talking about games, that's a life lesson. But let's talk about how the investor question follows high profile and expensive flops from last year, including pieces of shit like Suicide Squad and from Warner Brothers, and how Sony sent Concord out to die. Concord did not die, it was killed! Nintendo, meanwhile, is gearing up for its Switch 2 launch, blah, 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 blah. We don't give a fuck. Anything else meaningful to say about this article? Yeah, and I think I pretty much said everything that I wanted to say about this article in terms of thoughts. So let's move on and talk about how Intergalactic could be bad news for The Last of Us fans. Y'all know what I'm about to play. But first, before I do that, actually, while I'm doing that, while y'all hear the beginning, let me sip on some water. Then I had a sip of some refreshing water, and hopefully you did too. Let's talk about how The Last of Us fan, how us, because I'm also a The Last of Us fan. Let's talk about how us, The Last of Us fans, are about to suffer badly. Oh God! No! I wanted a The Last of Us remake again. No! Because Naughty Dog is actually working on making something new. I won't get The Last of Us remastered edition for PS6. Ah! Excuse me, by the way. Ah! I won't be able to get a remastered version of the PS3 version again, and then a remaster of Part 1 for PS6. Ah! No! The Last of Us fans are starving! Naughty Dog, why would you do this to us? Ah! How could Naughty Dog be so freaking evil, dude? Oh, shut the fuck up. Intergalactic game reveal may mean new The Last of Us content. What the fuck you mean? Oh, it's somewhat far off. Hopefully, nigga, we don't need anymore. It could mean The Last of Us Part 3 won't come out till the 2030s. Thank God if release pattern holds up. In turn, this may have an impact on The Last of Us HBO show as well. No shit, Sherlock. The fucking show is based off of the game. If they're not going to be making a new game till 2030, I would expect them to not be adding new seasons to the fucking show. Like, goddamn, like, please don't. Please don't. Save that shit for the script of the next game. As a matter of fact, that show doesn't need any more goddamn seasons. Oh, and now that I beat 1 and 2, I could watch the show, but I'm still not going to. Hey, I'm not gonna lie, I picked that article. I was never going to fucking read it. I just wanted to look at that article and make jokes. Something else I want to look at and make jokes, which I swear that transition was genuinely not planned. I forgot that I saved this. But y'all remember how I said that Dragon Ball Sparking Zero is a broken game and will forever be a broken game? Well, we got more evidence. So, oh wait, hold up. Matter of fact, let me turn the music back on. So it wasn't enough that fucking Mr. Satan or Hercule went tripping over and over in people's faces with a present and just blowing them up over and over. It wasn't unfun enough when fucking 19 and Gero or whoever the fuck was going, back and forth for 30 fucking minutes. It wasn't unfun to get your ass beat by fucking one of the fusions and a 1v1 that can pretty much just insta kill you. It wasn't already fun when fucking Frieza could throw a Destructo disc. You could do a whole ultimate and a Destructo disc would hit you and do double damage for some odd reason and kill you anyway. It wasn't enough for that. It wasn't enough when Yajirobe could beat your ass, run away, stall, and go pop a perk and get his whole life bar back. That wasn't enough. That wasn't enough. You niggas had to find more broken shit in this game to abuse and spam online to make the online experience more unfun. Now we got a full-blown Cooler Infinite. I'm telling you, bro. This game, like, bro, what? Imagine paying $70 just to watch your character go, oh, 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 90%. This shit look funny, you game? Like, nah, real shit, real shit. Real talk, real talk, real talk. Real talk, jokes aside, this shit look funny, you bro. Like, don't get me wrong, I love me a good Dragon Ball game. But this shit look funny, you bro. And like, you can see he's trying to input anything. This nigga's mashing, bro. Mashing. He can't, literally can't do anything. Like this, like, bro, I don't never want to hear you, Nick. Bro, if I swear to God, if I ever see a comment on any of my videos that asks me to play Sparking Zero, nigga, I'm blocking you, I'm banning you, I'm coming to your house, and I'm nailing your door shut so you can't leave. And I'm sticking you in there with a copy of fucking Sparking Zero, and I'm forcing you to beat the boss, the 8 boss, I will break you! I'm gonna force you to beat that character 900 times without getting hit in a row. And if you fuck up, you gotta restart in a row, back to back. And just because I feel like fucking with you, if you fuck up on the first try, 9,000 now. And every try after that, you fuck up 9,000. So first fuck up, 9,000. Second fuck up, 18. You wanna keep playing? You wanna keep playing? That shit out of here. We don't. When we talk about fighting games, we talk about real peak fighting game. Oh, yeah. This I wanted to talk about because I wanted to say, like, yo, I've never seen this shit happen before. I've never seen a worse community of people to play a fucking game. I've never seen a more brain dead community of niggas in the gaming community. So your game won 2 awards, but because it didn't win Game of the Year, you trying to bully the previous Game of the Year winner?
On Steam due to Sven Vinker's speech at the Game Awards. That's right, hundreds of negative reviews have appeared, allegedly from butthurt Wukong fans. Gamers and indeed the developers of Black Myth Wukong were upset that despite the game selling really well, the title lost the Game of the Year award to Astrobot.
Because Astrobot was a better game. It was the highest rated Game of the Year. Because when you talk to people who are like knowledgeable in a situation, like in real life, nobody gives a fuck about sales. Cause like real talk, and this is like gaming shit aside, this is just in anything in general. Like real talk, when we talk about art, when you talk about art to an artist, nobody who's a real artist is going to sit there, or who's a real appreciator of art is going to sit there and say, yo, I like this song, but only 1 million people listen to this song, so I don't want to listen to it. Nigga, I wouldn't give a fucking 5 people listen to this song in existence. If this song has been played a total of 5 times, nigga, if I like it, I'll listen to it so many times I'll get it to 1 million by myself. I don't care, bro. I don't care. When you talk about art with real people who aren't fucking people, you put a book in their hand and they start, my head burns. When you talk to people who aren't like that, like people who have real actual thoughts, people who are actually educated about art, they don't bring up numbers. Nobody gives a fuck at the end of the day. Cause in 10 years, when you're reminiscing on what games you have fun on, or even right now, go look at your games library. Go look at your shelf with all your games. Go look at your PSN account, whatever the fuck. Go back 10 years. Think about what games you were playing 10 years ago. Now, out of all the memories that pop into your mind, the fun times you've had with the game, with yourself, others, maybe meeting people in that community. Let's say a fighting game. It's a fighting game. And you went to a FGC event. Let's say it's a anime-based game, or it's a game based on an anime, and it led you to going to anime conventions and talking about fellow anime enjoyers and lovers about the game. Let's say one of the most fun things are the times you spent with people in that game. Let's say maybe that game is something that you use to get your little brother or little sister into gaming. Let's say it's like a Kingdom Hearts or something like that. that made you get your granny into gaming. Because she saw Mickey Mouse on the screen and she went, oh, I love Mickey Mouse. So she wanted to play the game. And that's what got her into gaming. And that's what got y'all to bond. Or let's say you and your little brother had an experience playing fighting games, competing against each other, and you started going to the FGC because you and your brother was so good at beating each other, iron sharpened iron, and now you're fucking amazing and you're trying to find another challenge since you haven't played your brother in forever. So playing games may give you an incredibly strong bond or an incredibly strong memory like that, or maybe it was just the innovative mechanics that happened in those video games. You see all the things I mentioned that will come up in your brain when you think about the game you played 10 years ago? You know, one of those things that I didn't mention? Money. You don't remember the sales of the games you played 10 years ago. 10 years ago, if I'd say, look back 10 years and name your favorite game, I bet you that shit sold like trash. I bet you that shit sold like ass. And if it didn't sell like ass, I bet you didn't know that it sold great either. Why? Because you, say it with me, did not give a fuck. Numbers don't matter when it comes to art. Nobody give a fuck that you played the most sold game this year, nigga. When you go to a job and you get ready to write on that job application, your different skills, are you gonna write the skill to play the most popular game that came out this year? Nigga, no. First off, it's because your dumbass probably can't write. Second off, it's because no, you're not filling out a job application. Third off, even if you weren't gonna write that because nobody cares. Same concept applies. Nobody gives a fuck how much a game sold, nigga. What game was better? Like, critically, if you had to sit down and analyze these games back to back, which one is more likely to give you a better experience? I guarantee you that the answer isn't PS4, but PS5 Destroyer Kong.
A game that only just hit 1.5 million sales. Larry and Sven's speech ahead of announcing the winner was critical of companies favouring profit margins over creating an action.
And I mentioned that earlier.
Understood the value of respect. That if they treated their developers and players well, those same developers and players would forgive them when things didn't go as planned.
And reviews have appeared on the Baldur's Gate 3 Steam page since, saying things like, if developers don't need to care for sales or reviews, please don't mind my negative review.
See, that's asshole shit because it's like, bro, y'all niggas is losers, bro. Y'all niggas need to go in the bathroom. First off, y'all niggas need to go to the store, buy some new clothes, put them new clothes in a washing machine because you shouldn't be wearing new clothes straight from the store. You don't know what happened to them clothes. But you need to go to the store, you need to buy some new clothes. What you need to do is take off your clothes, cut them up, throw them in a wastebasket. Once you cut them up, throw them in a wastebasket, before you put on those new clothes that you just took fresh out the washing machine, you hop in the shower. You make sure that you rub extra hard on your dick, balls, and butthole. Make sure you use a separate wash rag for your butthole, you nasty fuck. Don't wipe the same rag you wipe on your dick and butt on your face. Nasty nigga. You should really be using loofahs or like something nice and rough to, like, you know, really scratch the dirt off. But you gotta start somewhere, like and somewhere above your hands. Because if you use your straight raw bare hand, I'm not talking about the people who put on like the body washing gloves, right? That's different. Using your straight raw bare hands to wash yourself, that's fucking nasty. So put on, like, take a loofah, take a wash rag, whatever. Make sure you wipe your dick and balls and in your booty hole. Make sure you wipe that extra hard because I know you don't wash. So I know that shit stinks, and that if you was about to meet the thooties or the niggas or whatever, you was about to get some dick or some coochie, you pull down your pants, everybody in the room going, ah, like a fucking music video, like you just opened Pandora's box and that bitch exploded out with all the demons, and the force from all the demons exploding out the box push you back. But instead of demons, well, it's still demons because you're gonna smell like you have demonic genitalia. It's just gonna blow you out like poof. So yeah, so after you finish like washing, right, you put those clothes on, and then what you do when you have those fresh new clean clothes on is you go outside and you talk to some other people, talk to some other human beings. Fucking loser. Anyway, let's talk. This one, I just wanted to look over and see if there was anything interesting. There's basically a list of Apple's most popular games this year, which have been Block Blast, Monopoly Go, Roblox, Call of Duty, Township, Last War Survivor, Royal Match, Brawl Stars, the shit with 100 ads, Subway Surfers, TikTok Brain Rot, My Perfect Hotel. And then for paid, it's Minecraft, Heads Up, Geometry Dash is still selling like crazy like that? What the fuck? Yeah, that's actually surprising. I'm not gonna lie. I did not think Geometry Dash would still be selling well. And if I'm not mistaken, wasn't Geometry Dash made by a single person? Geometry Dash. That and y'all paying for Geometry Dash? You know what? I don't trust Google Gemini for shit. Google Gemini fucking sucks, dog. If Google Gemini was like Perplexity, but in Google, that shit would be actually great. Geometry Dash was initially... Oh, wait. Development timeline. No, developers. Oh, so yeah, that's a sole developer game. So that shit came out in like 2013 and is still making money to this day. That's actually pretty freaking cool. I'm surprised. I'm legit surprised that shit is up there. Five Nights at Freddy's, anything, of course. Monopoly, Stardew, Free, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, I thought I gave more fucks about this than I really did. This one I just want to announce. I haven't watched Secret Level, so don't ask me about my review of it. But it's out, and I'm gonna start watching that after I finish Tomb Raider eventually. But Amazon has already renewed it for a second season, so whether the show was good or bad, it was profitable. Because just like Velma, didn't matter if the show was good or bad, you niggas watched it into being profitable, so they made a second season, and the second season came out, and they realized nobody wanted to hate watch 2 seasons in a row, so they canceled the shit. Again, well, actually, let's look at the full list. But one of the things on the list this year for movies to join the National Film Registry was Spy Kids, along with a bunch of other names they got, whatever the fuck. But this one, to me personally, is the most significant because I love the Spy Kids franchise. Like, Spy Kids 1, 2, 3, 4, and I don't give a fuck what you niggas say. 4 was the best one. The Game Over Spy Kids, yes. Yes, 4, that is the best fucking Spy Kids. And if they don't add Spy Kids 4, despite how people say, oh, Spy Kids is ass, blah, 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 that shit is fucking a phenomenal movie. But let's see what the other 25 are. Agree. God damn, bro. The fuck? Because they got all this bullshit on the side. I can't see anything. Annabelle, Serpentine Dance, Coco, Angel. Yeah, I don't care. I don't care. I thought I was gonna care, but I don't care. Oh, this was just here to remind me to download and try this. Oh, another reason why I put this here. Where is it? Oh wait, no, this is wrong. For all you PS4 users, for all you Broke Station 4th Edition users, for all you niggas that spent 4 years not saving up and not getting a PS5, PS 5th Edition. We're now getting to the point to where you can't even demo games on that old ass piece of shit ass console because you fuck around, boot up the demo, your shit go this shit go you try to turn on your PS4, you gotta press the fucking button more than once, like you trying to crank up an old car. Beep. That shit don't even have a turn off noise. For your ass it do. It go vroom. That shit sound like a screwdriver every time you try to turn that bitch on, because the middle of the fan don't even work no more. It's just the screw, the magnetic little screw, the shit that makes a blade turn. That shit is just turning. The fan blades ain't turning. It's just a little metal spire and the metal turning by itself. No fan blade on it. So it sounds like a drill. There's not even a top on top of your PS4. This shit is just naked. Your PS4 just got its innards and its cock out. Your hard drive, that shit ain't even connected regularly. Nigga, you fucked up your PS4 so bad that every time you play a game, it's like you're playing on a PS1 if it has no cloud save support. All your save data for every last one of your games is in the fucking RAM. I don't even know how the fuck you did that. I don't even know how you did that. The CPU, your dumbass bent a couple pins on the CPU without ever touching it. Bottom of the PS4, barely there, because your bitch ass done cracked it all the times you done flung it all over the floor when you was going from shorty crib to shorty crib, being a homeless sexual, fucking these bitches, piping them down on their bed so you got a place to sleep. Bow, 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 bow. Being a degenerate PS4 nigga. It still plays 2K. I don't see no difference. I don't see no difference. I don't see no... It's the same fucking graphics, bro. It's the same fucking graphics. What do you mean they had to lower the graphics? Bro, no, they ain't lower the graphics. This is cutting edge technology. It's not cutting edge technology. You're a fucking idiot. I hope your PS4 transforms like a transformer Animorph and it just scrolls off your desk and runs the fuck away from you. So now you're forced to go to the store and say, fuck it, since I'm here and I have to get a new console, I might as well make it a PlayStation 5th edition. Fuck it, we bought. Hopefully that's what happens to your ass. That's why I wanted to bring this article up. I don't even know if I'm gonna try this fucking demo. It's an RPG, so I don't know. I'm gonna look at some gameplay. I should have put gameplay in the notes to look at, but it's like, bro, I wanted to make fun. I wanted an excuse to make fun of PS4 users real quick. Hell no, I'm not playing this. And look at this shit. Look at how fucking basic this game looks. Your PS4 can't run it. Yo, bitch ass PS4 can't run it. You see that? That's real motion blur. Turn on motion blur on any game in a PS4, that shit might turn into a napalm strike, boy. Like in Call of Duty, when you get a napalm strike, your PS4 gonna be the whole napalm strike. Shit, your PS4 just napalm by sitting there in your crib. Honestly, firefighters should kick down your door and take that shit away from you and be like, give me this shit, gang. Give me this fucking PS4. What the fuck is wrong with you, dumbass, bitch ass, hoe ass, nasty ass, dirty ass, funk ass nigga? Bitches, like Drewski said in that clip, is you stupid? Is you fucking stupid? Take that shit away from them. Bro, this shit look like a PS4 game. No, it don't. If it looked like a PS4 game, it would be able to run on a PS4. And according to that article, according to DualShockers, except for PS4 gamers. I just want to end this video off saying, fuck you to you PS4 players. As for people who are watching this live while it's happening, I'm about to go stream on TikTok for a bit, so I'm about to shut some of this shit down. So yeah, as for people watching this live, I'm about to go stream on TikTok. I'm about to go play Marvel Rivals. So yeah, with that being said, I'm gonna stop the stream and start it up back again over there in a couple.